It's more than just your output, more than a bike. When you hear your shout out, you know it's all right. Put on your magic pants and let's go. We're cruising into the power zone. Clip in, set yourself free. Come on and take a ride with me. Know what you need to know and what's it all about. Everything you need, it's on the clip out.
Welcome to the Clip Out, episode 421. This is Crystal O'Keefe.
And this is Tom O'Keefe.
Hi.
Take two.
Okay.
My computer's working now, though.
Good.
So, hey, what's on the list?
Well, we are going to talk about some news at Peloton. They recently had their 8th hackathon, and we're going to talk about that, what it is, and why you care. We're also going to talk about the newest potential lawsuit that Peloton is facing.
Oh, goodness. It's been a while.
It has been a while.
It's been kind of quiet on the lawsuit front.
Yeah. And also, there are instructors over in London. The studio is going to be closed this summer. So we're going to be a lot. We also have several instructors that are in the news. We're going to find out who Becs Gentry just interviewed on the Set the Pace podcast.
Okay.
Who was mentioned by an elite athlete in page 6, or who mentioned an elite athlete in page 6. And then what instructor got real and discussed dropping out of a race and why.
Okay.
And which instructor got to hang out with Michael Jordan, maybe.
Okay, well, before we get to all that shameless plugs, don't forget we're available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, TuneIn, wherever you find a podcast, you can find us. While you are there, be sure and follow us so you never miss an episode. Maybe leave us a review. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/theclipout. While you're there, like the page, join the group. Of course, if you would like to support the show, well, you're already supporting the show.
You're listening.
By listening.
And thank you.
If you would like to support it even more, well, we've got this thing called Patreon. Patreon.com/theclipout. $5 a month. You get all sorts of bonus content. If we get them early, you get them early, and we pretty much always get them early now. Don't want to jinx ourselves.
Yeah, you really shouldn't.
But
the pressure's on.
I know. But as long as Crystal doesn't screw it up.
That means for sure it's going to be jacked.
But if we get them early, you get them early. And, of course, the episodes for you special folk have no advertisements. So it's just helps kind of cover some of the costs associated with the program, which are
great,
multitude.
Yes.
So
what are we going to talk about on the bonus episode?
That's what I'm supposed to say here. We found an interesting article about the causes of obesity
and debunked some others.
It's not as simple as one might think. And also the impact of exercise on early death. And we're going to talk about a marathoner, 114 years old, and he was hit and killed by a car while marathoning.
Yeah, really upsetting. Upsetting story. But we also want to celebrate his life, so we're going to be talking about his amazing accomplishments.
Yeah. So, and then, of course, we'll have a roundup of instructor news and other places you can find them, whether it be podcasts, things like that. So, also, you can watch all of these over on YouTube. And finally, we have a newsletter, which I just realized I forgot to send out this week, where we include the links to all the articles and stuff, and you can sign up for that at theclipout.com. And there's all of that. That's everything. It's everything I have in the shameless plugs. So, let's dig in, shall we?
We shall.
Peloton in the news.
Peloton is celebrating its 8th hackathon.
It is.
So, would you like to explain to people what the hackathon is?
Yeah, a hackathon is where a bunch of people get in the room and they're from all different places in the company. So you might have somebody from marketing, you might have somebody from the coaches, the instructors, you might have somebody from the business side of things, and multiple people usually.
Right. And then they launch a cyber attack on Echelon.
No.
Oh.
That's more of an echelon play, really.
Okay.
Well, I mean, they'd try, but they'd probably fail.
Because Peloton hasn't done it first.
Exactly. There
Okay.
you go. There you go. But they get together and they talk about like, hey, this is a big problem that we face in our job. And then people come up with solutions without having any barriers like cost or time. Like they just like, here's a solution. Here's a sky high solution.
Right.
It can be a pie in the sky solution. And then one of the things that happens during this is that you see themes come up. So you'll see like people bring up issues like their biggest thing that they face. And then a lot of times they get put on sticky notes and they get put on the wall and then they get sorted into these like, okay, these are major themes. And then the second kind of piece of it is that people start working through and trying to solve the problems
Is
together.
there a way to do this?
Exactly. And maybe you can't do the solution that like is first come up with, but maybe you can do this other thing that won't be, let's say, as expensive or take as much time. And so that's what a hackathon is.
So this article that Peloton put out about their hackathon talks about projects that the hackathon has resulted in previously.
It did. Did you see anything in there that caught your eye?
I thought auto resistance, third-party treadmill metrics, target metrics for members during rides, and then it says the Peloton Guide, a QR code login feature, and the Peloton Android widget. Now, I got to say, I don't know why you need a giant company-wide brainstorming session to be like, what if we also did this but for Android?
Now, to be fair, it may not be that they could that they needed somebody to come up with the idea. It might be that they couldn't figure out how to do it in a costly manner, and so bringing all of the different teams together is part of what cuts through that BS and gets you to the finish line. I've watched this happen in real time, not at Peloton, but at other companies I've worked for. And sometimes, like, you know, it really depends on who's in charge of the company and how committed they are to making projects happen. Because if they are committed, then the things will happen. They will come out of it. But if it's one of those things you're just doing to check a box and you never go back and hold yourself accountable, then it's a complete waste of time.
Yeah, and it's an alien concept for me because although I work at a concert venue, we are owned and operated by government.
No
so
comment.
we don't do anything that involves, you know, advanced planning or productivity.
I mean, it's just not the most collaborative environment. You know, the government is not. So, yeah. But I think a hackathon is kind of fun because it's like you get to understand problems from other people's perspectives. So, like, let's say that you always go in and, I don't know, one of your spreadsheets that you always have to keep updated, right? Well, you have all kinds of problems with it from your perspective, but you might learn in this kind of environment how it's affecting other departments.
Yeah.
And then together you come up with cool ideas to fix it. And it's kind of fun and invigorating. It's kind of like we go to podcast movement because you're energized by all the new energy.
Yeah. And you get to hear from people that the higher ups probably get to hear from people that they never ever.
Pete over in over in the warehouse, like
Right.
he's never going to be in front of the CEO.
Yeah.
That might be his big moment.
For sure.
Yeah, that's also cool.
So it'll be interesting to see what comes out of this.
It will.
So Peloton is facing a new lawsuit, this time involving their apparel. I guess, was it chafing? Was it riding up?
No.
Was it, it said it was a 50-50 cotton blend, but it turned out it was really 60-40.
Oh my God.
What's going on? Did the tag in the back of the shirt like make your neck itch funny?
No. Okay, so no, what's happening here? And I don't even understand how this could ever turn into a lawsuit, like for reals.
Oh, I totally get how it could turn into a lawsuit.
Well, here's why. The plaintiff, Alicia, depending on how she pronounces it,
Sure.
Armas, claims
Careful, she'll sue us.
Well, I mean, I gave her 3 different pronunciations. She claims that she received approximately 12 marketing texts from Peloton after she replied stop to opt out in March.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they do have all these like canned spam type laws that say if you click unsubscribe, you're supposed to be unsubscribed. And so...
Hey, I agree with that. But like... She's trying to put together a class action lawsuit about it. And like, what damages did it do exactly? You got a text.
The article says that legally you're entitled to, I think it was
like $1,200, like up to $1,500 per violation.
Per violation, and she was violated up to at least 10 times.
I just gotta ask why you didn't just hit block, girl. Like, if it was that important to you that you went and hired an attorney.
Well, because there's money there.
Yeah, but is there? Because we've been over these class action lawsuits, and like, she's not going to get anything.
Well, I think if you're the lead plaintiff, the payoff's a little different.
Now, that could be.
And so I get that, if they put out the thing, you can fill out the form and they'll send you a 10% off coupon and a check.
Would you like to guess how many people are involved in this class action lawsuit? How many people fall into this class?
17.
It's less than 50.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I was just guessing.
I know.
I didn't get that far in the article.
I just think that, like, that in and of itself, like, a class action lawsuit is, by definition, a whole lot of people.
Number.
And
now they're just starting this. Like, this filing. God, don't make me defend these people. Like, like this filing is, they went to a court and said, we want to try to put together a class action lawsuit, and so the court has given them the go-ahead. So it's in the very early stages.
it is, and it hasn't been accepted.
Yeah.
Like, this lawsuit has not been, like, approved, blessed to move forward, whatever legal people call
Right.
it. It hasn't happened. But
all people are legal, honey.
well, I guess it depends on where you live.
And how many alligators are there?
Yeah.
Go on.
Anyway, but the article that I was reading also said that there are some defenses that Peloton could employ.
Okay, let's hear what the defenses are.
Technical error. Peloton could claim the texts were sent due to a system malfunction or human error.
I think this goes back to the landmark case of Oklahoma versus Oopsies.
Okay. Or they could argue consent, that the company might say that the plaintiff initially consented to receive texts and the opt-out was not properly processed.
This goes back to the case of Oklahoma versus You Want It.
It also, Peloton could demonstrate that it has procedures in place to honor opt-out requests, even if they failed in this instance. That one does not sound very helpful, but hey, what
None
do
of
I
these
know?
sound all that helpful. I don't think $1 billion corporation can go be like, I don't know. I mean, shit broke.
But on the other hand, just, I'm just asking a question here for real.
Okay. It's a hackathon, honey. It's an apparel lawsuit hackathon. Just blue sky me.
Okay, here's my question. You know how things are allowed to fail? Like, if you buy a dishwasher.
Like America?
Fuck, I wish somebody were looking at the failure rate of America and fixing that. I wish that were a thing.
But okay, dishwasher.
Dishwasher, like, when you make something and you manufacture it and you're doing it on a high level that's like a whole bunch of them are happening, right? Don't you get you have some kind of rate that is okay to fail?
Yeah, that like nobody bats 1,000. And
All right,
like if
so-
0.01% of the dishwashers have a problem, that doesn't mean it's a bad dishwasher.
So
It's
I'm just saying
yeah.
there's 50 people and Peloton has 8 million users.
Well, I guess that's what this is. They're about to find out. You're gonna start seeing ads pop up in your Facebook feed if you've ever liked a post from Robin Arzon that says, "Did you get texts from Peloton that you didn't want?"
I always enjoy these, like, because at first I'm curious about them. I go through like a wave of emotions
Yeah,
with these.
it's like the stages of grief.
It is. It's curiosity first.
Yeah.
Fascination right up there next to curiosity. They
Where-
waffle back and forth.
Rage is coming. I know it.
Oh, well, it's just like a song that you like and then somebody plays the hell out of it and now
Yeah.
you hate it. Well, that's what happens with my Facebook feed because, I tend to pull up a lot of Peloton info.
If they're going after people who engage with Peloton stuff,
I'm on the list.
You're in the top 0.01%.
So then that's about the time that the rage kicks in. Not at first,
Right.
but like there's a curve and I hit it depending on how much they're paying to get this in front of people. And then it depends on whether or not Peloton wins. There's usually vindication
Right.
when I'm right because I enjoy that.
I've noticed.
And then if I'm wrong and they lose, now we're back to rage and despair.
Your hackathon becomes a rageathon.
And then I'm back to comparing it to America.
You go your hackathon becomes a rageathon. You go from Woodstock to Woodstock 99.
99. Yeah. Somebody's going to push over the tower.
Yeah.
I just know it.
Yeah.
And I mean that for all scenarios we just discussed.
Give you something to break. So moving right along.
We're speeding through this list.
Olivia Amato will be, or I guess will have been by the time you hear this, at PSL.
Yeah, so as a reminder, so many of the classes over the summer are closed, both in New York and London. It's kind of a blackout. But what's happening as a result of this is you're seeing Cody over in London.
Yeah.
You're seeing Olivia over in London. By the way, side note, didn't put it on the list, but had an epiphany.
Okay. Epiphany me.
Cody tends to be the person who's scouting talent. He has spent an enormous amount of time in Europe.
Oh, like are they
Is there a connection?
Like, are they looking for new London instructors? Are they looking for new German instructors? Are there new markets that they will embark upon? Will we see Peloton Luxembourg?
Yes. All of that, yes, are my questions. Not my answers, but my questions.
We're just asking questions.
We're just asking questions.
It's hackathon week at the Clip Out. We're blue skying. So my theory is Olivia Amato has already burned through all her PTO for the year.
You think?
And then they closed down PSNY, and she's like, guess I don't have to go to work. And they said, bullshit.
Get your ass over to
London. You used all your PTO. You need to get the hell over to London and get back to work. That's what I think.
Well, I don't know. We'll see who's right.
Yeah.
But I think that it's fun that when the instructors kind of switch places and give... Peloton has said in past earnings calls that they are going to meet people more where they are. They're going to be doing stuff out and about in the public. I think this is a good example of that when you take instructors from the U.S. and you take them over to London and vice versa.
Yeah.
It's great for people who can't travel internationally on a whim.
Right.
As most of us cannot.
Correct.
Or are terrified to now. That you are able to then have access to these instructors in a way that you normally can't.
Absolutely.
I think that's really cool.
Yeah. It's like a foreign exchange program.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Coming up after this, we got instructors in the news. We're going to give you updates on what celebrity Becs Gentry was talking to. A Peloton instructor getting mentioned in page 6, and we had an instructor drop out of a race, and she talks to people about why. So stick around, won't you?
Instructors in the news.
Becs Gentry interviewed the rapper Noreaga.
Yeah, but he's also known as N.O.R.E.
Correct, which is an acronym.
Do you know what it stands for?
I do, but I won't say it because the first letter is N.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. No, we cannot do that.
Yeah.
I am not comfortable
Nor
with
should
that.
you be. I mean, that's his choice, but
totally.
We're just going to stick with Noreaga. How about that?
I am a lot more comfortable with that.
As you should be.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, she was interviewing him where and why now? Moving right along?
Yeah.
Let's pretend like that didn't happen.
So this was interesting. So Becs Gentry, just to recap, is a co-host on the Set the Pace podcast, which is the New York Roadrunners, New York City Marathon official podcast.
Yes.
Okay. So she co-hosts that with Rob Simmelcare, and they were at the studio, and PSNY, not like a recording studio.
Right. An important distinction in this conversation.
It is, yes. And then they interviewed Noreaga live at the studio. He even got on the tread. I don't know if he took a class, but they showed him on the tread. They showed him talking to Becs in the studio. There was all kinds of behind the scenes. And I thought this was interesting for so many reasons. The biggest thing is that Set the Pace is using this as their very first episode to be on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
I found that fascinating.
Yeah.
Because last year, the big thing about podcasting was video. This year, everybody's like, nah, you don't need to do it. But I think it's just because podcasting is just in a really weird place right now. I don't even know if any of it's true. I don't trust any of it anymore.
Nobody knows anything.
So that's fascinating. Also, Noreaga is bringing to the Set the Pace podcast kind of a cultural edge and highlighting the intersection of running, music, and lifestyle altogether. So I thought that was really interesting as well. And one of the things that kind of stood out to me was that Noreaga and Becs have kind of a similar vibe of storytelling and using that to impact people's future life choices. And so I thought that was interesting as well. And I also just thought it was a big deal that Becs was really pushing this podcast on Peloton's socials.
Yeah.
Why? Because it feels like we're moving to a new level with that particular synergy. I don't know what that'll look like. To be fair, it's a really slow week at Peloton right now. Like, there's not a lot happening. There's a lot of happening with celebrities this week, but there's not a lot happening in the studio.
Right.
I can't help but wonder if we're seeing like this glimpse of things to happen in the future, and this might just be like page one.
Right.
Why do we need to close the studio the entire summer if something big isn't about to happen? I don't know. Again, I'm just asking questions.
For sure.
So I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
I have no idea.
Okay.
So
cool. Well, that was fun.
Yeah. No, I mean, they obviously Peloton has always been very music driven, so it stands to reason that they would embrace something like this.
Yeah. I just think it could mean something more between New York Roadrunners and Peloton that might be moving forward with that particular synergy.
Yeah.
And then that partnership, but also we've had lots and lots of musicians in, but this week, as you will hear, there is a lot going on in the studio.
There is.
I don't know.
So Ben Alldis got mentioned in page 6, which if you're in New York is a big deal for people.
Yeah. So, okay, I thought I read this as he mentioned, but maybe I read it backwards.
So they're talking about Serena Williams, and then they had a quote from Ben Alldis when he popped up in her Instagram feed being like, oh, I see your Peloton. You're really...
He said, I will save you.
Yes.
All those Peloton workouts have been serving you well. And he said, I see you, Serena Williams. So it was that he was all good.
Yes. Yeah, he wasn't being creepy.
Not at all.
Yeah.
But I was scared of what you were about to say that might make it sound creepy. But it's good for Peloton to have that brand visibility in page 6.
Yeah, for sure.
And to be tied to Serena Williams.
That's never a bad thing.
Never a bad thing.
Unless you've been picked to play against her.
Yeah, well then, good luck to you.
Yes.
Yeah. It also is just interesting because this all appears to be organic, and that's like the best kind of visibility that you can get. I mean, it's a positive look on Ben. It's a positive look for Serena. It's positive for Peloton.
And it wasn't placed by a publicist. It just occurred.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find that kind of fascinating. And I'm sure it's not bad for Ben's old personal brand.
I'm sure.
It can't hurt.
So Christine D'Ercole had an Instagram post this week where she was talking about she dropped out of a race that she was competing in.
Yeah, she showed up for the race and everything just kind of went wrong. Like she felt like she had the wrong gear choice. And when she got there, go ahead.
Oh, I watched the video.
Yeah,
and
tell me.
She said that and they were gearing up to do one kind of race and then I think that like for some reason that didn't happen and they pivoted to a different type of race and she didn't change her gear structure. So she came out pedaling way too fast that it was like the race they were supposed to do was only like a lap and a half. And then this other one was much longer. And so she was pedaling way too fast and that she came out hot and then just basically got trounced because she was in the wrong gear and it was too late to adjust. And then she was just kind of like, man, screw all this. It just went home. Just was like, it just hit wrong. And she's just like, I'm just going to go home.
But it's so real, you know, like that there are times to push through. And I think all of us recognize that.
Yeah.
I think that there are also times we need to give ourselves permission to be like, this is not working.
Yeah.
Like you can try to overcome so much, but if to what end?
Yeah.
Because like if you're not going to win, sometimes it's just the experience, but it's not like at this stage of the game, she needs the experience.
Sure.
Like, she knows what she's doing.
Right.
And so I don't think that really kind of has any kind of stake in this particular conversation. But it's still a tough decision to walk away from anything you say you're going to do.
And it's also difficult to know when is the difference.
Yeah, when are you letting yourself off the hook?
Yeah.
How many times have we had this discussion between us and with Dr. Jen and other people who have been on the podcast? It's like, it is so difficult to know when you're letting yourself off the hook.
For sure. And I know she was also doubly conflicted because there were people that showed up to support her.
Yeah,
like not
from
like,
the Peloton community.
Right, like not friends and family, but fans. And then she's like, oh my God, these people carved out their weekend to come watch me do this. And I'm just like, one race, and I'm like, deuces. And so, but she said that she went over and hung out with them and took pictures. And like, she didn't just like stroll on by them like whatever.
Well, and honestly, I think most people, and I'm sure not everybody, but most people would rather have that one-on-one contact with her than watch her in a race any day.
For sure.
They probably felt like they got something really special.
For sure. Like, I thought that was a good way to handle it.
I totally agree. Either way, I have mad respect for her to not only do it, but then go on social media and tell the story.
Yeah.
There are so many people that as they get more and more famous, they shy away from things instead of just owning them. And I think in this case, that was really smart of her to just be like, this happened.
Yeah.
It makes her so relatable.
Yeah. So Jess Sims attended Michael Jordan's Board of Greatness retreat, which, I mean, the great ones never retreat. It doesn't even make any sense.
What a good point, Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been lied to.
Damn you, Michael Jordan.
This retreat included athletes of all kinds, and they had a very wide range of them. The event also took place in Greece, which was very fancy.
Yeah, that is fancy.
And one of the things that's interesting, or significant, I should say, about Jess Sims being there is that it represents kind of a new wave of athletes who are blending fitness, media, and community engagement. Like in the past, like if you just go back even 20 years ago, like social media influencers who do what she does, not just because of Peloton, but just as a whole on social media, did not exist. Social media didn't exist in the way that it does now.
Right.
And so that's a big deal. Also, her presence at the retreat shows that the brand, Jordan's brand, recognizes a diverse group of people, not just basketball
or professional
not just
athlete, like traditional professional athletes,
sports teams.
Right.
Yeah.
Basketball, baseball, tennis. Yeah.
Exactly. And of course, again, for her brand and Peloton, it's never bad to be mentioned in the same articles and rubbing elbows and taking pictures with these people. It's pretty cool. And I have no idea if Michael Jordan was there or not, but I think it'd be really cool. And in my head he was, and she got to meet him. I haven't seen all the pictures. Like, I think it's still going on.
Yeah.
So I don't think we know for sure yet, like how long the retreat was.
He probably shows up just for the free trip to Greece.
I would assume.
Because he needs a free trip.
He needs a free trip. Yeah. That makes sense.
Peloton Artist Collaborations.
The latest artist series features Moby. How
It does.
excited must Eminem be?
Why is that a thing?
Oh, because he used to
Did they
have...
get along? Did they not get along?
They
that like
didn't
a little
used
fight?
to. I'm assuming they still don't, because Moby was famously name-checked in one of Eminem's biggest hits.
Oh. Well, I'm sorry for Moby. Moby is one of those artists that is just fascinating because he's involved in so much music you don't know that he's involved in. But it's like stuff you hear every day, and it's fascinating to me because you have no appreciation for it until somebody does a list and it's like, this is all the songs that he's been involved in. You're like, holy shit.
Well, his album Play, which is the big one, and I don't know if it still is, but at the time anyway, it was the most commercially licensed album in the history of music.
That's fascinating.
Yeah. And that was kind of when you saw that shift to where, like, before that, when a band licensed a song to a brand, they were like, oh, sell out. Like when Nike used Revolution and people were like, ugh. And like that was kind of the beginning of the shift of like, oh, that makes sense. like, yeah, that's another way to make money, especially because you were starting to see the decline of radio.
They were like, oh, we're on board with this now.
Yeah.
Now it's okay.
Because, like, radio didn't really play Moby that much, but all of a sudden his songs were in all these commercials, and people would hear the songs that way.
Okay.
And so not only was he making money by licensing it, but it was also elevating his brand and his music to make him popular and kind of do an end run around traditional gatekeepers to get a hit record.
See, he was rubbing elbows with the right people, and it
He
increased
was.
his brand.
Yeah.
That's kind of the theme of this week's show. But in this particular instance, we are celebrating what he has already accomplished. So that's cool. I don't really know a lot of Moby songs off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But I enjoy Moby. He's one of those artists that, like, if I take one of these classes, I will be like, oh yeah, I enjoy this, But it's not something I'm like, I got to go to my Moby collection and
Right.
pull up all these songs.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think there are people like that really do feel that way about him. So that's kind of cool just to have that wide variety.
Yeah, and sometimes things like this are good for the artist in terms of somebody takes that class and then they're like, oh yeah,
Exactly.
I didn't realize that was him.
Yeah. A lot of artists that I have found.
Other connected fitness.
So Strava is pulling its free running training plans, but don't worry, they have paid ones available for you. That should solve everything, right?
Well, it's more complex than that, actually. The thing is they pulled the free training plans, but you have to go to Runna to get the training plan. Well, Runna is a completely separate app.
Right.
Yes, Strava bought Runna, but you have to have both apps to use both. Now, this month, they did finally come up with a subscription that you can have both. Like, if you get a generous discount if you have Strava and Runna. But it is still really expensive. Like, it's $150 for both for a year.
For a year, okay.
For a year.
I was
Which-
like, a month?
No,
okay.
There's nothing that they are doing that is worth $150.
I know, that's why I was...
But clearly, some people might think that. Anyway, so I have been really like looking at that for myself, and I keep saying, no, I don't need that because I'm not training for something. Now, if I was
Right.
training for something, I might take a different approach. But right now, I'm not in the headspace where I need to do that. I think that what I find most interesting about it is that Strava already had all these web training plans that were free, and I never used them. I didn't feel like they were all that great.
Yeah.
So I understand that this article is highly critical of them. I even understand why. But I kind of disagree because Runna's running plans were really good and really flexible. And I really enjoyed them. And I never once got excited about a Strava running plan,
And
ever.
The free ones where you get what you pay for.
I mean, I'm not saying they were terrible. Like, they were still running plans. And if that's all you can do, that's all you can do.
Right.
But there's a lot of stuff that's still out there for free that if that's your only option, you can still make progress. Like, I don't feel like it was a make or break moment. And
Right.
if you wanted something that was more elevated and tailored to you, you weren't going to get that from those free training plans. And now it's actually this huge, amazing thing that if you have Runna, you can get these really cool training plans. And that's how I would choose to look at it.
And my guess is they probably saw their metrics that those free ones probably weren't getting used that much. And so they were just like, not worth the effort.
That's what I think too.
Yeah.
And it's always sad when you see this stuff, because people get all upset about it and some people really feel some kind of way.
And on a company of this size, there were obviously a not insignificant number of people using them, even if from Strava's POV.
Like, if it was 10%, that's still a tremendous amount of people
even
using
if
it.
it's 2%, it's a tremendous amount.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's still affecting a lot more people. You're totally right. I also thought it was interesting that a lot of people brought up the broader trend of subscription rot, where you keep paying the same amount and they keep giving you less and less and less.
Yeah.
And I am not a fan of that trend. Nobody's a fan of that trend. But
companies are.
I just think in this particular instance that, yes, this falls under that. And if they continue to do it, I will absolutely change my stance. But right now, I think they're just trying to clean things up. And I
Yeah.
think it makes sense.
Peloton celebrity sightings.
So we were talking earlier about just the different music and celebrity collabs this week. And Rob Thomas from Matchbox 20 stopped by PSNY this week.
Yeah, Mariana posted some pictures about it. I think the Peloton account did too. But Mariana's picture was really special to me because she posted about how much she loved Rob Thomas, Matchbox 20. Getting to meet him was amazing for her, and how much his music has influenced her life. And so I had to reach out to her and share our Rob Thomas story. And I just thought that this was worth mentioning. One, because maybe this means we're going to have some kind of artist series coming up, or maybe he'll be part of like the summer festival, music festival that they do.
It seems like he would be. Honestly, it's kind of surprising they haven't been yet.
Do they have a new album coming out?
I have no idea.
I don't either,
Yeah.
but that tends to be part of
yeah.
how they pick some of those summer ones. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was great.
Well, you didn't say what our Rob Thomas story
Oh, do you
was.
want me to share it?
Sure.
Well, so one of our first dates was when you took me to a meet and greet for Matchbox 20. I had never been to any kind of event like this. I was very nervous.
Yeah, it was like a small acoustic performance. It was like just him and the guitar player. It was right when She's So Mean came out.
Yes, it
and
was.
So I was trying to impress you. So
It worked.
I was like, you want to go to this private performance with Matchbox 20 and I'll let you meet Rob Thomas? And to realize after the fact, seeing how excited you were to meet Rob Thomas, I was like, this might not have been the best idea in retrospect.
I was very excited to meet Rob Thomas, but I was so excited because it's like this huge part of my like high school and college years. Like he had so much of my life, like the songs that he did.
Yeah.
And when getting to meet him was like next level, like surreal. It was so surreal to be there. And I'd never gotten to meet anybody famous or that I admired on that level ever before. And so everything about that day was crazy. And then getting to take a picture with him. Yeah, that was really cool.
And now I've put you in front of so many famous people, you're jaded.
I mean, sometimes, but Rob Thomas was my first. And oh, so special. No, really, though, in all sincerity, that day was really special because, yes, I have gotten to meet a lot of people, but not like getting to meet him was right up there with getting to meet Rick Springfield, because that has such a special place in my heart because of my sister.
For sure.
And so there's like moments like that that are just super special. And that was one of them. And Mariana was really sweet about it, too. She's just a gem. I love her.
Coming up after this, we're going to tackle content. So many classes to choose from. We will help you narrow it down so you don't waste a second. So stick around.
New content.
It is time for the TCO Top 5. You told us the best classes, and we agreed. So here they are. Number 1, your favorite ride.
Christine Dierkele taught this class on July 5th of this year. It was a 45-minute sprint interval training ride, and Karen Smith nominated it. She said it was amazing. It was her first sprint interval training class. She will definitely be back for more. She was questioning the format because it had so much recovery time until she realized how needed all that recovery is. She knows what she's doing. I will be checking out the other classes too. That is cool. That is cool because we've talked about the benefits. That is cool because women are starting to really understand what kind of exercise they need to be doing, how it benefits them in different ages and stages of their lives. And I just love seeing all of that.
And the best thing is if you stop like 10 minutes in, she can't even get mad at you. Number 2 and 3. Look at that. We have a tie. This is our first ever tie. How exciting. Your favorite 2-for-1 outdoor runs.
Well, here's why. Okay, so there was a 30-minute hit after hit 2-for-1 with John and Maddie, and there was also one that had Adrian and Matt. These were the last week of June and the first week of July. Mindy Jensen loved these classes, and she said that the banter between the instructors makes the runs go by fast. Plus, you might find a song in a genre you don't normally listen to. John and Maddie, for example, they had disco and Broadway as their musical themes.
Okay.
Whereas Adrian and Matt had EDM and classic rock. And then when Adrian and Matt were doing their class, they talked about how they knew each other before Peloton. So I'm sure they had tons of stories.
Yeah.
And they packed them all in that 30 minutes. And then John and Maddie are both super lighthearted and it was like running with two best friends. So both of them were just such great experiences. Mindy had to talk about it, and it makes you want to take both of these classes. They sound great.
Number 4 is your favorite music-themed ride.
I've been waiting for this.
Uh-oh.
Pat Darling.
Yes.
You need to come to the speaker now because this is her moment.
Okay.
This class was nominated by Pat Darling, who acknowledged Tom O'Keefe's grouchy poo-pooing of Jimmy Buffett, saying, I know, it's not Tom's favorite, but whatever.
What you should... First off, it was not grouchy poo-pooing. It was joyful poo-pooing because I love shitting on things. 2, you should never, ever take a Peloton class based on my input.
That's true. That's true. Well, Pat goes on to say,
Okay.
she doesn't call herself a parrot head, but Jimmy Buffett songs were the soundtrack to many summers on the lake, cruising around, lounging on the houseboat, so his music is very nostalgic to her. She's currently in the 6th week of recovering from a total knee replacement. Hang in there, Pat. And she's just now getting back on the bike for easy spins. And even though she likes Jimmy Buffett, she doesn't know she would have taken this class if it hadn't been for her recovery period because the music's so chill.
I thought it was going to be she wouldn't have taken it if it wasn't to defy me.
I'm sure that was
Tom doesn't like Jimmy
then
Buffett?
I'm taking it.
Then I'm taking it.
But she said that it was absolutely perfect for where she is, and what sold her were the first 2 songs on the playlist, One Particular Harbor and Fruit Cases. This particular class was taught by Dennis Morton on July 2nd.
And then finally, number 5, your Unstackable.
We haven't had Jess Sims on the Unstackable for a while, but Julie Goldman Eggleston loved this class. It was a 45-minute bike boot camp taught on November 19th of 24. And she said she recently took this bike boot camp and it kicked her butt. Just stretching after this class took energy she didn't think she had left. We had to do a full minute of burpees at the very end, which after 44 minutes was a massive challenge. Wow.
Yeah, that sounds pretty awful.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
I mean, it's...
Good for you, Julie.
Yeah. I will say, though, it's still not as awful as an entire class of Jimmy Buffett songs.
Oh, my God.
That's unstackable.
Hilarious.
Oh, my God. They played nothing but Jimmy Buffett the whole time. I don't know how I made it through. I guess we will now take a look at this week at Peloton. We got a 60-minute rock ride with Sam Yo.
Yeah, I haven't gotten a chance to take this because it's not out yet. It's July 20th. But when this happens, I'm really looking forward to this because this is his 4th 60-minute ride and his 3rd rock-themed one. He has really good taste in music. His last rock ride was back in 2023. So I think he's going to really bring the music. I'm excited about that. That's all.
Okay. We also have commuting meditations. Don't do that if you're driving.
Well, I think that they're looking for people who might ride a bus or a train, that
Sure.
type of thing.
Makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. So there's a couple of 10-minute morning commute meditation classes, one with Chelsea and one with Dennis, and both dropped this week on demand.
We got Rising Country Run.
We do. And this was taught, or going to be taught, I should say, by Logan on July 17th. 30 minutes of Rising Country.
And for the bar and Pilates fans, we got new of each.
We do. A 30-minute Pilates with Aditi is dropping live the July 17th at 9:30 a.m. and a 45-minute bar with Hannah Corbin on the 18th at 9:30 a.m. Eastern.
And finally, we'll take a look at what's on the clip-outs radar. There's things that might slip through the cracks. So first off, we should talk about just all the different studio stuff going on.
July 10th through the 13th, PSNY was completely closed. There were no live classes. July 14th through August 2nd, so we are in that phase right now, no live cycling classes from PSNY. However, July 18th through August 4th, there will also be no live tread classes from PSNY. And then August 5th through 23rd, 8th through 25th, no strength, row, yoga, meditation, bar, and Pilates. And then August 28th, PSNY is closed. No live classes at all. And August 29th through September 1st, it's also closed. No live classes.
Gotcha.
So a lot of dates. And if you are traveling to New York and hoping to take a class, please, please check the schedule or you will be so sad.
Yes, you'll be very disappointed.
In case you missed it.
Peloton Apparel has a collab with Travis Matthew. I don't know what that means. I don't know.
Well, this particular brand is all about like being like real life. And so I don't really know what that means, to be honest. It says it's laid back coastal vibes. So like I picture like California.
Gotcha.
Maybe you put like a bucket hat on, or
Wear it in
one
your-
of those little hats that has the little brims that women like to wear.
Okay. Wear it in your Jimmy Buffett classes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But it's definitely a women's collection. They say it's built for summer. Lightweight, sleek, unmistakably cool, just like summer should be.
Okay.
It's not my thing.
Yeah.
So.
So I should address the fact that we haven't had birthdays the last couple of weeks is because there haven't been birthdays the
Oh,
last
yeah,
couple of weeks.
yeah.
So we haven't forgotten. They haven't gone away. It's just for whatever reason, Peloton instructor parents don't tend to do it in November.
I mean, it's a busy month.
Yeah.
You know, you're gearing up for the
Yeah,
holidays.
you just got done. You feeling bloated from that Halloween candy. Next thing you know, it's Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Who's in the mood?
Right.
Not Peloton instructor parents.
But boy, the holiday season, once we get into December,
Now
that is their moment to shine.
there were some crazy Christmas parties and New Year's Eve parties. That's my prevailing theory. So that brings us to a close. Until next week, where can people find you?
People can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Crystal D. O'Keefe. They can also find me on Blue Sky, Threads, and Instagram, and the Peloton leaderboard at Clip Out Crystal.
And you can find me on Blue Sky and Threads at Tom O'Keefe Jr. or on Facebook at facebook.com/Tom O'Keefe. Find the show online at facebook.com/The Clip Out. While you're there, like the page, join the group, and of course, don't forget our Patreon, patreon.com/The Clip Out. $5 a month, bonus content, ad-free episodes, early episodes, and we like you. So that's it for this one. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, keep pedaling
And running.
and rowing.
Bye, guys.
Clip in,